Hey, that's a good question. What is IB and why we have it at Maynard Jackson? Well, it really revolves around three main things. One is the IB approaches to teaching. One is the IB approaches to learning, which we call ATL skills. And of course, the learner profile. The IB approaches to teaching skills are the methods that the teachers use to educate the students. For example, they make sure to collaborate with their colleagues and promote student collaboration. They put learning in context and show how it relates to the real world, and they differentiate between different learning styles. Now, the approaches to learning, or as we call the ATL skills, are the qualities or the skills that IB schools embed in their daily procedures. So, for example, they focus on social skills, research skills, thinking skills, communication skills, and self-management skills. So those are embedded in the curriculum. And then lastly, of course, the learner profile. So if you've been in the Jackson cluster for a while, or any IB school, you've probably heard about the learner profile. So all IB schools in the world have this in common. They all have this same basic framework between kindergarten and basically 12th grade. So I hope some of those things sounded familiar to you, but that's pretty much the gist of it up until 10th grade. But then after 10th grade, things change a little bit. And I'll discuss that after I explain why we have IB at Maynard Jackson. So there are about 6,000 IB schools in the world, and about 4,000 of those are high school. You can see the rough numbers here. This is a rough layout of the IB schools in America. And these are the IB schools in Georgia. There are about 53. Now, this is an APS cluster map for the city of Atlanta. North Atlanta, Mays, and Jackson are IB clusters. Now, if we zoom in on the Jackson cluster, you can see all our feeder schools. So just know every school that you see right now, aside from the ANCS elementary campus, is an IB World School. So there are several different IB programs. So PYP, which is primary years program, is from kindergarten to 5th grade. MYP, or middle years program, is from 6th to 10th grade. And the Diploma Program, or the career related program, DP or CP, is 11th and 12th grade. This is a list of the PYP schools in the Jackson cluster and when they were authorized. Now, it takes 3 years to become an IB World School because the school has to meet an international standard that is set outside of APS, and they must be approved every 5 years. Now, these are the MYP and DP schools in the Jackson cluster. And I just want to point out also that even though Wesley was the first authorized IB school in the cluster, the MYP at King Middle School, ANCS Middle Campus, and Jackson High School all happened at the same time. All three of those IB programs for a middle years program all started or authorized simultaneously. So now that you have a little bit of background about IB and the Jackson cluster, we can talk about what happens after 10th grade. So after MYP, there's two options. There's the IB Diploma Program, which we call DP, and the IB Career Related Program, which we call CP. And I can explain all about those right now. So just to clarify, IB classes are just like AP classes in that they are college level classes taught in high school by a certified AP or IB teacher. The main difference is that IB classes are 2 years long. So if an IB course is on your schedule junior year, it will likely also be on your schedule for senior year. This is especially true for the DP. So students in the IB Diploma Program essentially take 6 IB classes in addition to an extra course called Theory of Knowledge that we call TOK. Only students in the DP can take this class. One thing I also want to mention is that because the Diploma Program requires students to take 6 IB classes, and each class for the most part is 2 years long, that's basically like 14 to 16 weighted college level classes across junior and senior year. Now, if a student wants to complete their pathway, they can just forego or not take a group 6 class in junior year or year 1, and then they can take economics in year 2 and still meet that requirement and do the diploma program. Now that you have an idea about the classes, there's a thing called the DP core. So these are the things that are part of the program besides the actual IB courses. One is, of course, the Theory of Knowledge class that I mentioned, TOK. There's also a service component called Creativity, Activity, and Service. We call it CAS. That's also a part of it as well. And there's an extended essay, which is a research paper that the students write about a topic of their choosing. That's all part of the program. Now, there's also the IB Career Related Program. it's very similar to DP, except for students can take 2 or more IB classes. They don't have to take the full 6 IB classes. Instead of TOK, there's a class called Personal and Professional Skills. PPS is what we call it. To complete the CP, they have to complete a CTAE or a fine art pathway. They may be able to do ACCA as well. And that's pretty much it. On the right side of your screen, it has the different pathways that any student can take and still be a part of the IB career-related program. Now, there's also a CP core as well, and that is the Personal Professional Skills class. There is a community engagement piece, similar to community service. There's a language and cultural studies piece, and one thing to mention is that if a student is not in a world language in 11th grade, they would have to do an additional exposure to a language. I can explain more about that a little bit later, or perhaps in a different video. And then there's the reflective project, which is kind of like the extended essay for DP, but it's another research paper based on a topic of the student's choosing. Now, what about IB in relation to advanced placement and dual enrollment? All I can say is this: we offer a wide variety of quality programs at Maynard Jackson High School. So I can just highlight the differences, or the similarities and differences about the different programs. So it's a chart here where you can see how the CP, DP, individual courses, dual enrollment, college and career academy, and just regular high school courses, all those things add up. Well, let's see. This is Georgia State right here, so it looks like they have biology. They get some credit for Chinese. I see for SL and HL economics, for English, and just to put it out there, our students get these scores. Most DP, CP students receive college credit for at least a few classes, and as you can see for Georgia State, they take a lot. Here's Georgia Tech. We can scroll down some. They have a lot of languages here, but if we go down farther, you see the more core classes. So it looks like they have English, they have history, they have math, and you can see what the IB credit is for that. That's for SL and for HL. Now, if you're curious about what SL and HL means, I can explain later. But here's UGA, University of Georgia. All those IB credits that they take based on those scores. And if you think that it's impossible to make these scores, the truth is the majority of our students, many of our students, make qualifying scores on these exams to get college credit for all these schools. So this is UGA, all right, and here's Emory. So if you scroll down, they give you another link to click on. So if you click on the link for IB credit, these are the credits for AP and for IB that Emory University awards. Emory University, that's one of the schools that we would recommend DP or CP and AP combination to bolster yourself for a school like Emory. Here's Spelman, one of the top HBCUs in the nation. That's what they accept. Here's Morehouse. It's kind of in the fine print, but it tells you they want 5, 6s, and 7s, which we usually do for most of our HL classes. Here's Howard. That's Howard University, and what they say. That's their admissions requirement. Well, their IB credit, 5, 6s, and 7s, which students do make. Here's UCLA, just to go to the West Coast a little bit and see. So these are the IB credits they take. There's business management. There's film, the languages, math, and lastly, here's NYU. So if you want to get another East Coast look, that's the credit they take, basically 6s and 7s, because it's somewhat of a higher tier school, so they might not take all the credit. And here, just to throw it out there, here's Princeton. Even Princeton takes IB and AP scores for credit. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, this is not the case for every school. There are some schools where even if you made 7s on IB and 5s on AP exams, which is the highest, they still may say they prefer that you take their particular college classes. So that's something to keep in mind. But it's not all about the college credit. It's really about a quality education and being able to, maintain and do your best in a college environment after you graduate. Well, counselors have told me that since some schools give a 10-point weight like APS, and some give a 5-point weight, and some don't give a weight at all, so they may strip the GPA or the weight from the GPA for certain scholarships like the Hope, and certain colleges may do that also. But if you are a college-bound student, AP, IB, and dual enrollment classes are still better than just taking regular high school classes. But here's the thing, regardless of GPA, weight, and college credit, DP and CP students just do better in college. Like at Maynard Jackson, the largest group of students that get into college, finish college, and graduate college are students that were in the IB program. With CP is still above the national average in terms of students matriculating through colleges. Now let's look at AP. Let's look at the skills that colleges are looking for. They like the academic skills, but they also want communication skills, social skills, time management skills. And ironically enough, those are all the same things that we've been highlighting the entire time in IB. And so that's why it's a holistic program. It's not just about, grades and credits and classes. It's about being a overall well-rounded individual that exemplifies learner profile, and that also is, a good academic student as well. That's a good question. We used to have a life in IB. To that, I would say you should ask our students. Ask some of the juniors and seniors that you see that are in SGA and Model UN and Academic Decathlon. Ask some of our athletes that are in our award-winning cross country, that are a basketball and baseball team, that are on the swimming team. Ask our thespians. Ask the people in theater and fine arts. Our art department, ask people completing pathways, the engineering students, the the graphic design students, the art and video tech students. I'll ask Miss Seniors, our college and career advisor. She's a DP alumni from Maynard Jackson and UGA graduate. So if you want to know if people have time, I would say ask some of the people that you see walking around the halls among you, because they are our IB students. So this is the type of student that we look for the IB program. A student that's motivated, that can write well, that can produce high quality work, that have time management skills, they don't overstress, and can juggle numerous different tasks. And if you haven't learned those kind of skills, we invite you to join so we can teach those skills, because they'll be helpful down the road. In terms of joining the program, we recommend just speaking to your counselor. Your counselor probably already has a list of students that are eligible for the program. You should have at least a 3.0 GPA. That's kind of the basic thing. And after that, it just depends on your individual classes and your personal situation. So if you are interested, reach out to your counselor. You can also reach out to me. And most likely the counselors already have an idea of if you're eligible, and they'll probably, let you know when you speak with them. Now, I'll be the first to admit that IB isn't for everybody. So if you barely passing your classes now, or you barely want to come to school, or you're looking for an easy A, then IB might not be the best option for you. But if you are looking to challenge yourself and to become the best student that you can be, then you might consider the DP or the CP. Because at the end of the day, it's an international standard, a standard beyond what is offered at many other schools. So that's why those students, when they finish the programs, get their names on the plaque in the wall forever, because these are the students that chose to rise to the occasion. Now we're asking, are you ready for that? Hey, so I want to just close by my office here at 2207. This is where I'm located. I'm right upstairs to the front stairwell, right across from Mr. Guberman's classroom. Feel free to come by if you have any questions about IB. I can answer most questions about AP. I have open door policy. Feel free to come on in. I can assist in any way that I can. But before I close, I just want to say, people have a lot of opinions about IB, but actually, this is IB at Maynard Jackson.